Northwestern and Wisconsin is underway in Evanston. Our first look at Temi Thomas-Ailara. She rolls it to the back row. Back set, here's Randorf into a block, where number 1 recovers. Cross court and in, finding it is Devin Robinson. Wisconsin strikes first.
And it looked to be almost fate that Temi Thomas-Ailara would record the first point, but she gets in the play nonetheless, gets in that block, goes right up with Carter Booth there to get the double block, and then of course Devin Robinson putting the finish on to get our first kill.
We were wondering pregame, Matthew, about where Temi Thomas-Ailara would factor in the serving game. She was set at the line, subbed out for Gulce Guchtekin. The sophomore defensive specialist out of Istanbul. Gets it to Randorf. Bump set from Rousseau, chases it, and Giacomo goes cross court, too long. 2-0 Wisconsin.
And that's one of the problems that this Northwestern offense has had to try and figure out is Julia San Giacomo's errors. Now up to 54 total on the season, a lot of those coming from plays like that. Tries to go cross court, is unable to keep it in play.
GG serves it for the second time. Another messy one at Randorf. Rousseau has to chase, but Rousseau gave a good enough ball to get it over, where Wisconsin has an error on their own end.
And Wisconsin did a really good job to keep that alive. They had Northwestern out of system 2 times in a row that Alexa Rousseau has not been able to set the ball that she wants. But that time, ball just riding along the net. Doesn't fall on Northwestern sides, but close from Wisconsin.
Here's the first-year Gigi Navarrete. Goes cross court right at the other Gigi. Devin Robinson puts it down, but it's out. We're square at 2.
But there's that speed. They have the quick set on that second tempo. Every single player on this Wisconsin roster can hit that quick attack. Just so dangerous from everywhere along the net.
Here's Sarah Franklin. Then a dig from Drew Wright. San Giacomo gives it another go. It's saved well by Orgel. Stinson. Rousseau. Dodson on the slide. Puts it down.
And when we talked to Gary Wright this week, he told us they had scouted that slide. They know how fast that Rousseau likes to play that ball over her head for Dodson on the back set. But that time finds the open gap, keeps the serve, sends it right at Izzy Ashburn.
Northwestern with their first lead. Early stages of this match. Franklin tries again, right at Stinson. A double touch on Rousseau. It's all about limiting those unforced errors when you're Northwestern. You have a tough opponent, make them make the mistakes.
So it's a couple times now that Alexa Rousseau hasn't been able to get a great set. Northwestern has to figure out this first reception, get a clean touch on it.
A tough one for Navarrete. San Giacomo right at Franklin in the front row. Here's Robinson just forcing it back, but finding the ground. Badgers lead 4-3 very early in this one. And Matthew, it goes to say every time Wisconsin scores, crowd falls a bit silent. It is thunderous most of the time, though, as a service error gets the crowd right back in it.
Yeah, Eli, it is so loud in here. It is just so great to see so many people, young, old, from all backgrounds. You know, Northwestern fans, Wisconsin fans, neutrals, everyone just so excited to see Big Ten volleyball kick off here at Welsh Ryan, to see the #1 team in the country come to Evanston.
They are no secret to large crowds as Franklin with an easy kill. Wisconsin, their last effort against Florida, a phenomenal match, 1 against 3 in front of 10,000 fans in Gainesville. One before that, they played against Marquette. That was held at the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, and that was an indoor women's volleyball record itself at 17,000 fans, as you get another look at Franklin finding open space. Here's MJ Hamill. A senior out of Greenwood, Indiana, with their team leading by a point. Rousseau bump set, far side for Chin. The Purdue transfer sends it to the back row. Franklin off the tip. Stinson recovers. Dodson slides. Recovered well by Hamill. Smrek with the kill, and there is just the power of the 6'9" Canadian.
Yeah, we see Anna Smrek and Maddie Chin getting their first look at the ball. Smrek does such a good job at getting up to tool the block. gets her first kill of the match.
Hamill again. Dodson just forcing it back, but recovered by the first-year Navarrete. Messy play, but tipped back. Northwestern has a fresh 3. Chin. Covered by Gigi. Rousseau goes over, changing the pace, but a nice recovery from Gustekin. And on the far side, it's Smrek again.
Back-to-back kills from Anna Smrek. It's just so incredible to see how well coached this Wisconsin team is by Kelly Sheffield. They move so quickly in transition, get to their base positions faster than you can even blink. Northwestern just has to move ever that much quicker if they want a chance at winning this match.
A 3-0 run for the Badgers. Back row attack. San Giacomo gets the serve back for her team.
And San Giacomo has to be the difference maker. She gets the majority of the attacks on this team. Look at that pace on that ball from Julia San Giacomo.
Now the BYU transfer, Leilani Dodson, had a phenomenal career at Northwestern. Smrek quickly up the 1 ball, but it's too far. Goes off our official in the corner. And Northwestern earns 2 straight to pull within 1. Dodson spent her first year at college at BYU. Been back home ever since. Far side, Caroline Crawford is denied. But through the block, getting the touch is San Giacomo. Continuing to move forward with this team. We're tied at 7.
Another back row attack from Julia San Giacomo. It can be so difficult to time this set with that attack, but San Giacomo gets up, sends it straight into the block and straight out.
Smrek, 1 ball, poked by San Giacomo and kept up. Kennedy Hill takes a swing. Here's Franklin near side, going cross court every time. Wisconsin regains the lead, halting a Northwestern 3-0 run. And a couple substitutions, TTA comes back on as you get a look at that last play from Franklin. She now lines up to serve. The crowd grows louder. May have paid off there, Matthew.
First service error of this match coming from MJ Hamill. Second, pardon.
The 6'3" setter out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, Alexa Rousseau. To her former teammate, TTA. And a back row attack from Franklin. There's just too much power behind that swing.
And it is unreal how much power Sarah Franklin is able to get on that swing. Had to work back from quite a bit of trouble this summer. Needed surgery for blood clots in her forearm. Hasn't stopped her yet. This team has really rallied around her in her performances.
Overpass turns to be lethal as Carter Booth takes advantage in the middle, using all 6'7" of her frame. Wisconsin by 2. CC Crawford. The senior serves again. Chin. Rousseau back to Maddie Chin. Goes off speed, but it's recovered. Randorf far side, and there's no stopping that one.
Northwestern does such a good job at rescuing this point. The first set to Maddie Chin, not great. Forces Chin to just touch the ball over the net, but they get it back. Rousseau's back set for Randorf gets it done.
The first year Drew Wright. Temi Thomas-Ilara does what she does best on this court and earns another kill.
And there is number 1 for TTA tonight. Little different than the kills we've seen her record in this arena before. Of course, the boom signs, the boom chant from the crowd every time TTA gets that kill. Not happening here tonight.
Izzy Ashburn now, the grad student out of Dayton, Minnesota. Goes to one of the youngest players on the court, and Drew Wright, where San Giacomo sends it over. TTA again into the block. Kennedy Hill. Matthew, it is thunderous here. The lower Bullet Welsh Ryan is nearly packed, and we're starting to see fans trickle into the upper bowl.
And rightly so. Northwestern has kept themselves in this match. This double block from Randorf and Kennedy Hill. It takes so much effort to go to both sides as that middle blocker, but Kennedy Hill getting it done.
Far side, it's Robinson through the block. Wisconsin stretches their lead back to 2. Relatively even so far throughout this first set, but a long way to go.
And it's interesting, it looks like Kelly Sheffield has made the decision to not have Temi Thomas-Ailara serve. We know she has that powerful jump serve, but prone to errors.
Goes back to Guchdekin. Rousseau has to chase it down for a bump set, where St. Giacomo can't get enough. Kept up by Dodson, but not long enough for Randorf to get there. And it's all about placement on that first pass for Northwestern right now.
Absolutely, just making sure that you get a clean touch on that serve. Again, not a ton of power on it, but they're aimed well from Guchdekin. Just have to make sure you're trying to stay in system, get that ball to Rousseau.
GG again. Goes to Stinson, and it's a reception error. The stakes are starting to pile up, and Shane Davis takes time to regroup.
Yeah, they kept it close, but 3 straight points for Wisconsin. They've built themselves a 4-point lead. It's been good attacks from Wisconsin, but Northwestern has to clean up these reception errors to stay in this.
Wisconsin leading 14-10.
5. Have to make sure that their attack attempts are counting.
Goes right back at Stinson, who had an error right before the timeout, and an overpass on the set, and Franklin makes him pay. 15-10 Wisconsin, set number 1, where the number 1 ranked team in the country looks to get in and out of here. Guchdekin to Wright, who recovers for Stinson. San Giacomo into the block, and it's all Badgers right now.
And Gary White, when we talked to him earlier, of course, the associate head coach for the Badgers, said that their attack, of course, firing on all cylinders, just wants to clean up that defensive side. Already 2 blocks tonight. A lot of credit going to Carter Booth, moving so well from left to right, just so quickly to get up and stuff Northwestern.
5 straight points for Wisconsin. Make it 6 as Booth gets another block. Another timeout called by Shane Davis. First one didn't pay off. Let's see if the strategy changes as well. We will step aside with this one. It's only fair to look at who's at the helm of the ship. Kelly Sheffield, in his 11th year with this Wisconsin program, has just continued to be dominant in this conference.
And it's even more impressive when you factor in that Kelly Sheffield never actually played competitive volleyball. Didn't play in college, didn't play in high school, didn't even play club. And yet he has taken this team to the top, really, of the sport in an NCAA championship in 2021.
Wisconsin has scored 6 straight. They lead 17-10. Northwestern looking to halt that run using both their timeouts. Stinson, a nice recovery, but it hits the ground. Rousseau trying to chase down for a pancake.
And a lot of the action so far going Sarah Franklin's way. Already up above her season average. Has 5 kills, averages about 3 3/4 a set.
Robinson, the next closest Badger, with 3. Right. Rousseau back sets for Randorf. And Northwestern earns a point back after calling 2 timeouts. Still work to do, but they get the crowd back in it.
But that's the momentum swing that Shane Davis needed. It took 2 timeouts, but you're able to stop the scoring run, keep yourselves in it. And what a back set from Rousseau, and then a great finish from Catherine Randorf to seal off the attack.
Randorf, a high jump serve with a lot of power underneath it. But power, it's turned off from Franklin, and she goes with a roll. Back from the back row, it's right. And Robinson goes cross court. Randorf keeps it up. Point Wisconsin.
The joust at the net is just so difficult to understand and to try and predict where this Wisconsin team will go. They run that 6-2 offense, meaning their setter is always in the back row. They always have 3 attackers ready to punish the opposition.
The libero, Yulia Orgel, serves it to Stinson. San Giacomo, off a couple ricochets, kept up. Franklin battle at the net. Sends it to right. Dodson on the slide. Well scouted by the Badgers. Robinson rolls. Sprawling out is right for Rousseau to dump. And 4 touches.
And it was a great dig by Gutschticken here over by our commentary table to keep it alive for her side. But just a bit of miscommunication. 2 Badgers going after the same ball. Look at that dig. Unbelievable athleticism from the product out of Turkey.
Substitution at the service line. San Giacomo replaced by Avery Hernandez. Our first look of her tonight. And a free ball from the back row. Hernandez, Rousseau, Dodson. Point Northwestern. 19-13 Badgers out in front here in the first set. As we will keep an eye on San Giacomo on the sidelines. Back in play, Franklin. Kept up nicely by Northwestern and put over to Innovation. Robinson into the block, kept up by the Badgers though, and a free back set. Stinson, Rousseau swings, just long.
We saw Alexa Rousseau do this a couple of times against Yale. Traditionally favors the dump, but that time just goes full swing. Wasn't able to get any of the ball to stay in play. But a great defensive effort from the Wildcats early on in that rally.
Wisconsin the first to 20. They lead by 7. Here's MJ Hamill again. Navarrete. Rousseau to Chin. A loud block teaming up there is Smrek and Crawford. Wisconsin 4 points away from closing this first one. A little bit of extra height in there. Front row for Wisconsin, CC Crawford, Anna Smrek, and Sarah Franklin. Dodson tries the slide again and earns one. Kill number 3 for the seniors. A couple more substitutions for Northwestern. You look at Dodson hit the sideline. One more look at that slide, Matthew.
Good back set from Rousseau. Good contact from Dodson as well. Hamill just unable to keep it alive.
Kennedy Hill came on to replace Dodson, and the libero Stinson comes off for Lauren Carter. Transfer out of Denver. Feeds it to the back row. Crawford slides. Rin returns the favor. 22-14, Badgers that lead.
And not only is it the versatility that this Wisconsin roster has, but the depth. They have multiple players at each position that can come on and really wreak havoc. For example, that middle blocker position, you just saw CC Crawford get a kill. That means Carter Booth isn't on. So to be able to switch those two, get production out of either player, just so tough for Big Ten opponents to handle.
Franklin to Navarrete. Sets up Chin from Rousseau. Point Northwestern. They still trail by 7, backs against the wall, but they have Rousseau at the service line. The senior goes deep. Orgel receives. Quick one ball to Smrek. Bump set from Stinson, excuse me. And Chin got the touch. Northwestern starting to chip away.
Good contact from Northwestern. Able to tool the block. Just have to battle back here. 6 points down. Can they build up a streak?
Temi Thomas Ilara right at Stinson. Nearly into the splits. A decent effort, but no dice.
And TTA says no streak for my former team. And Wisconsin has worked themselves up to a lead. Northwestern kept it close first half of this set, but slowly Wisconsin is inched away.
Rousseau quickly to Hill. Goes off TTA and kept alive. One more try from Northwestern. Chin gets the touch through. Northwestern trails by 6 once again.
And that first attempt from Kennedy Hill, I think, just hit off the side of her hand. The Northwestern able to get it back. The back set from Rousseau. And Maddie Chin able to send it straight at her former teammate, Temi Thomas-Ilara.
Right. Quick ball to Booth. Off the touch. And we have our first set point of the evening. Comes down to Izzy Ashburn, the serve. As you get a look at Thomas-Ilara, you're going to be sure, in the back of your mind, that Wisconsin's going to want to go through her to put an exclamation point. Here's Hernandez swinging away and earns a point for Northwestern off the kill. Thomas-Ilara tried to bump it up, but couldn't get enough.
Well, they brought in their ace, so to speak, in Izzy Ashburn to serve. Unable to just finish it off.
Here's Stinson to Thomas-Ilara. Goes back and goes short. Rousseau, Stinson, Randorf. Off the touch, into the net though. Point Wisconsin, and that will close set number 1. So not as emphatic as the Badgers would like it to be, but a win is a win. They win set 1, 25-8.
Diggs as well for his second double-double of the season, and starting off strong tonight. Had 5, had so many of those go balls, whether it was MJ Hamill, Izzy Ashburn, setting her up. Just able to really put the pressure on Northwestern from this left pin.
See on the 385 clip tonight. Throw a dig to her name as well. The leading in kills for Northwestern is 3 separate Wildcats. Maddie Chin, Leilani Dodson, and Catherine Randorf all have 3 apiece. Eli Burke, Matthew Plachek here for Big Ten Plus. Excited to bring you this contest between Northwestern and number 1 Wisconsin. As Welsh Ryan Arena continues to fill out. What a night it is for volleyball in the conference opener. Izzy Ashburn, who was the last server for Wisconsin in the first set, opens us up with an error.
Izzy Ashburn tries to keep her serve in play about 92% of the time. That time really wasn't close, about 3 feet past that far line. It's uncharacteristic from the grad student.
The 3rd error on the Badgers tonight from the line. Ashburn sets up a quick ball to Booth. San Giacomo looking to return the favor. Tries a roll off speed from TTA. Far side, near side now, Chin. Ashburn, Thomas-Ilara. Get some power under that, but Navarrette's there. Miscommunication on the set from Rousseau, but Hill gets it over. San Giacomo with a nice dig. Bump set from Chin, and Rousseau takes the swing and earns the kill.
And what a rally from both of these teams. Alexa Rousseau able to just send it into the backcourt. But I don't think we've given enough praise to the defensive ability of Yulia Orzal. Yes, Wisconsin didn't get that point, but she has been lights out.
Staying in the back row. Northwestern's gone short every time, and Devin Robinson is denied. A combination of the net plus the blocking team gives Northwestern the lead. Check that. The point went Wisconsin's way. Well traveled out off the block. Wisconsin serves. Stecken. Here's a swing from Chin. And there's Northwestern's second point.
That cut shot from Maddie Chin can be so dangerous. Gets this ball almost parallel with the net. Wisconsin, there's really no chance to deal with that one properly.
Here's Rousseau. Far side, Franklin, kill number 6. Matthew, you scooted back on that one. That was a little bit of filth on
Eli,
that.
there was some menace on that ball. Sarah Franklin, she liked the look of that one. Oh my goodness.
Here's Orgel. Rousseau setting up Randorf off speed. Defensive recovery from Northwestern. Maddie Chin rolls. There was net touch against Northwestern, and the point goes to the Badgers.
Not the first time we've seen that tonight. The net violation to end that first set here. Just see, I believe it's Catherine Randorf. Her left hand comes down onto the net.
Orgel. A little bit of messy recovery, but Rousseau is there. Ashburn back sets for Robinson, but a loud block from Kennedy Hill. Hill back for San Giacomo, allowing Randorf to swing, but it goes deep. Wisconsin regains the lead.
Good dump from Izzy Ashburn, and good contact from Catherine Randorf here at the near side pin. Just a bit too much juice.
After when we talked to Shane Davis earlier this week, I asked him how he got the team pumped up for this game as Randorf takes a swing. Nice block from Wisconsin. We asked him how you get your team pumped up for this one. He says, do you really think I needed to pump them up for this one? If anything, I needed to settle them down a little bit. We know the crowd's going to be here. We know they're going to be loud. It's all about keeping those mistakes to a minimum, and they're starting to add up a little bit for Northwestern as you look at their 136 clip compared to Wisconsin hitting at 381. Off the tape, Kennedy Hill off the short ball, rolling, and it goes out. Unfortunate roll off the top of the net there.
And they started so well in that first set, the adrenaline running high. Of course, it's going to come down. They have to just settle down, keep their heads on.
Northwestern and Shane Davis take another timeout. They trail 6-3. When we return, set 2 continues on Big Ten Plus.
They're able to do, and Kelly Sheffield just wants to make sure that they're recognized for their efforts in a positive way.
And that doesn't apply just to volleyball.
No,
it goes to every sport. And with a high energy environment such as this, it's all about keeping the athletes up. And Wisconsin comes out of this timeout with a nice ace to kind of quiet this crowd down a little bit.
And at every level, it's not restricted to college. High school recruits get talked about a lot, of course. And you see players, fans from across the country rallying. Melanie Schaffmaster's mom, Minnesota Star, commenting on that post saying thank you for bringing awareness to this issue, because when you're Wisconsin, you have a lot of fans, you have a lot of people that watch your matches, and to see someone step up, take charge of a situation, just great to see.
Orgel keeps the serve going. That's her second ace within 3 points. Mistakes continue to pile up for Northwestern. That's 3 straight errors on their own end. All of a sudden, it's 9-3.
And that's just how quickly a game can get away from you. Northwestern at the moment, their own worst enemy.
Randorf off the reception. Bump set from Rousseau, goes back to that near side, and a dig from Ashburn keeps it up. Franklin gets a tip. Nice work from Stinson, setting up Chin through Rousseau. Wisconsin has an answer for everything. Randorf to Huseman. Back to Randorf, but can't get it over. Ellie Huseman on in the front row now. A little bit of personnel change from Shane Davis's squad is still haven't. San Giacomo is back out. She was getting checked on at the end of the first set, but she's been in the back row lately. Wisconsin by 7, Orgel again. Ending the 8-0 run off of an error. Northwestern found themselves in a hole, and now it's time to dig themselves out. They look to do that through Drew Wright the first year out of Hermosa Beach, California. Goes deep. Bump set from Orgel. Far side, here's Franklin into the block, but she recovers her own swing. Robinson. Denied. Goes over San Giacomo. Rousseau back. Back row and out. Good court awareness from Wisconsin there.
And it was good patience, though, from San Giacomo. A lot of times you'll see a team, when a free pass goes up like that, try to just hit it down on one. Stays patient, tries to set it up, keep it in system. Good idea. Execution just a bit off.
Anna Smrek comes back on in the front row. MJ Hamill gets set to serve. Their team back up 7. Wisconsin won the first set 25-18. Looking to keep rolling and keep that unblemished record intact. Right to Randorf. San Giacomo sends it deep. On the far side, Franklin. Off our corner official there once again. Matthew, these officials in the corners are starting to take a little bit of a beating from these Wisconsin swings.
And both of these officials have seen a ball find their foot. But Wisconsin now still on a 9-1 scoring run. Just all the momentum.
Make that 10-1 as more mistakes pile up. Wisconsin scoring without even touching the ball.
First service error of the night for Northwestern. They were already making attacking errors, had 11 of them. They cannot start adding to that with problems on the serve as well.
Northwestern hitting at an 0.60 clip compared to Wisconsin at 333. A deep recovery, Wright keeps it alive. Stinson sends it over. Smrek looking to shut the door, but an overpass in TTA puts a period on that sentence.
And that's where going over on one works very well. When teams are super clumped, there's a lot of space in the backcourt.
Team back in this one, Matthew.
Shane Davis got his first winning season last year at the helm of this Wildcats program. They went 18-14, but only 7-13 in the Big Ten. Opened conference play with the Badgers. Lost, something that has become a bit of the norm in this matchup. We'll talk about a little bit later, but was able to battle back from a tough loss against UIC last weekend. They went up 2 sets, ended up losing in 5, but a sweep over Yale, an Ivy League team that has seen a lot of the NCAA tournament.
Repeated trips to the Sweet 16, the Final Four. This is a powerhouse, and if you want to make a statement, this is the team you got to beat. Randorf takes a swing, goes off the net, but kept alive by Hamill. Thomas Ilara goes on the same side down the line, where Randorf, with a heavy swing, kept up by Orgel. Haven't seen any full power swings from Thomas Ilara yet, but nice recoveries from this Wisconsin squad, and miscommunication on Northwestern's end gives Wisconsin a free point.
Just not great from Northwestern, probably the best way to summarize that, because a free ball like that, the opposition should not be getting points. Anna Smrek should be getting points with her swings, but if she can get points like that because Northwestern unable to communicate to really figure out problems, Wisconsin will be happy.
Drew Wright pops it up to Rousseau, quickly to Dodson, puts it down. Leilani Dodson with her 4th kill of the evening. Northwestern looking to put something together now as Navarrete takes the service line. One more look at it, Matthew.
Such a quick serve and a quick attack from Leilani Dodson. Straight at MJ Hamill.
Orgel, far side, Thomas Ilara right at Stinson. Rousseau swings, it goes off her head, and Stinson sends it over. Crawford trying to put it down, and she does. Stinson didn't get there in time.
Stinson tried for the pancake. Looked like she might have had it. Her hand might have just been a little bit too close to the net. Get a better look here. Great angle as that ball just lands behind her. Just misjudges it a little bit. A good effort from the Northwestern libero. And good eyes from CeCe Crawford to find that open space on the roll shot.
At the service line is Jocelyn Boer, playing in her 100th collegiate match now with that serve, and she starts it with an ace.
And if you're a Northwestern fan right now in attendance, you can tell the audio has really dropped down a little bit. Cheers not as loud, just sort of painful. All of these errors from Northwestern, especially reception-wise.
The Wisconsin lead is double digits, but that's cut by an error. So an ace and an error. Get one and you take one. A couple substitutions for both teams. Boyer comes out. A nod of approval and a little bit of extra coaching from Kelly Sheffield as San Giacomo waits patiently to serve. 16-7, Badgers in front. Devin Robinson, 7 kills for the Badgers. Here's a look at Smrek with some thunder.
And if Sarah Franklin has some power, Anna Smrek doing her best to equalize that. Some of the best attacking and blocking efficiency in terms of stats in the nation, but just from the eye test, look at the speed of this ball as it comes off her hand. Unbelievable power.
Navarrete. Stinson recovers. Here's Chin off speed. Orgeau bumps sets for Robinson. San Giacomo's there. Rousseau goes cross court. Chin with a little more on it, but Franklin's there. Booth was too much to handle. Wisconsin leads by 11.
Wisconsin just does such a good job at staying in system. Sarah Franklin, one of their best hitters, gets this first touch on it, but sets up Izzy Ashburn perfectly, and then able to finish off the rally.
Navarrete, a messy handle, sends Stinson flying, and Chin just sends it back. Off speed, kept up nicely by Stinson. Recovery from San Giacomo, and Chin puts it over. Booth with another kill. It's 2 straight. Carter Booth now with 4 kills tonight. Wisconsin he just gets closer and closer to that finish line. Ashburn, the grad student. Rousseau to Chin. Very familiar in Big Ten play is Maddie Chin. And so is Temi Thomas-Ilara, but a nice play from Stinson to keep it up. An attacking error from Chin gets Wisconsin to 20 points.
Nellie Stinson needed all 5'2" of that frame to keep this ball alive for the Wildcats, but the first set a lot closer, finished 25-18. This one just a completely different story, utter domination from the Badgers.
A 4-0 run right now. They won the first set 25-18. They lead this 20-7. And Booth makes it 21.
And that might be one of the most impressive plays that we have seen. A one-handed quick set from Izzy Ashburn just to touch it up to her middle and Carter Booth. And Booth just laughing. Unreal talent from the visitors. The team in red really put everything on display here.
Something worth note, Alexia Rousseau off. Lauren Carter comes on to set. Navarrete sends it, attempted to send it over. Sends it into the tape. Carter in to play the setter position for now.
And it isn't often we see Alexia Rousseau step off. The 5-1 that Northwestern uses, they want her in all the time if they can. Things just not clicking so far tonight.
Navarrete has a hard time handling them in this second set. Gets Wisconsin 2 points away from winning set 2. And Wisconsin is effectively just taking the life out of this crowd right now. Up 16 here in the second set, showing everyone why they are the #1 ranked team in the nation. Carter near side for Chin. Wisconsin continues to have an answer. Temi, diving dig from Stinson. Finding space is Chin, but Thomas-Ilara is there. And one more shot for Northwestern to put some smoke on it, but they go off speed. Ashburn bump sets TTA into the block. Northwestern ends the 7-0 run, but it may be too little too late.
And how about Lauren Carter getting her first block of the season? Going up for that one with Leilani Dodson.
Ellie Huseman subs on in the front row. A lot of different combinations out there tonight from Shane Davis's squad, trying to find what works best right now. Temi to Navarrete. Here's Chin. Not getting everything on it, though, as Wisconsin sends it free. Carter to Chin again. That one into a well-placed block. Dump attempt from Carter. Gets Wisconsin reeling.
And that's 2 plays now where Drew Carter has been in the thick of the action and has looked great. She was a highly touted recruit out of high school, went to Denver, didn't see a ton of time. But a good option to give Alexa Rousseau a bit of a break. Just so energetic, she needs to settle down a little bit.
Dodson serves to Thomas Ilara, and there's Northwestern's first ace of the evening. Northwestern's bench back into it, trying to get the crowd back into it as well. Once Rousseau stepped off, she started screaming like she was in the student section while Wisconsin was serving, trying to get some life back into this crowd. Far side, Thomas Ilara into the block. Can Ashburn send it over? Doesn't have enough on it. 3, make that 4 now, straight points for Northwestern.
TTA loaded that one up with some vitriol, but Northwestern hitting her with the double block. Couple points in a row now, 3 for the Wildcats. 4, pardon. Would take a lot to bring this set within distance, but it's not out of the question.
23-11, make it 24-11. Service error from Dodson gets us to our second set point. Northwestern switches to a defensive lineup. Ujay Guchtekin back on to serve what she hopes will be the final time in this set. Wisconsin by 13, make it 12. Take a side out any way you can get it, Matthew.
Yeah, at this point, you're down 12. Next, 12 set points, 11, pardon, but it's going to take a lot from these Wildcats to try and get it back. If you can get a point on an opposition error, you'll take it.
Robinson doesn't give Northwestern the chance to answer anymore. And the Badgers of Wisconsin cruise through set 2 and send us intermission.
Red, but Devin Robinson chief among them.
Wisconsin looking to shut the doors. Northwestern returns to the court. Student section near packed house. Hard to spot any empty seats from where we're sitting. Matthew, what is the answer for Northwestern? You go down 2 sets to none. Haven't really been in this situation much this year. How do you respond if you're St. Davis? What are you telling this team?
Well, they haven't won a match that's gone to 5 sets. They lost to Hawaii, they lost to UIC, so not a great spot for them, knowing that you do have to go to 5 if you want to squeak this one out. But it's just about cleaning up the errors. They hit at a 283 clip coming into this match, but tonight they're hitting 062. Wisconsin is good. Yes, everyone knows that. No one is denying that. But Northwestern has really punished themselves, whether it's serving, attacking, receiving has been a big problem. Seems like Alexa Rousseau, Ellie Stinson just off their game a tad tonight.
We saw Rousseau take the ending of set number 2 off. Lauren Carter came in to play that setter position. Rousseau returns. The 6 on the floor right now for the Badgers: Booth, Robinson, Thomas Ilara, Crawford, Franklin, and soon to be Orzo replacing Ashburn. For Northwestern, Drew Wright, Leilani Dodson, Ellie Huseman, Maddie Chin, Catherine Randorf, and Alexa Rousseau. Looks like Dodson will come off for Stinson, the libero. Still awaiting the green light from our officials tonight. The #1 team in the nation, firmly in the driver's seat. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Glad to have you along for the ride. Matthew, with this pause as we wait to start set number 3, it's given the time for the student section to get back into it.
Yeah, it has. They've, raised the decibel level just a little bit. But again, this would be one of the greatest comebacks, I would have to say, in the history of college volleyball, knowing how talented this Wisconsin roster is, the talent that they brought in from the transfer portal. Temi Thomas Ilara, CeCe Crawford, Carter Booth. I mean, the list goes on and on. Northwestern is not out of it. Of course, you're not out until that last match point in that 3rd set, 4th set, 5th set touches the ground. But Shane Davis has to rally his team up, has to get his women firing if they want to stand a chance.
finally back, ready for play. Northwestern makes a last-second substitution. Ellie Huseman comes off for Kennedy Hill. But the first-year Drew Wright gets ready to serve. Keep her team alive before another last-second change, and Wisconsin serves. Looks like everybody's still figuring out. It's early in conference play. Get those cobwebs shaken off.
And I don't want to say Kelly Sheffield looks annoyed. He looks a bit annoyed. His team was rolling for the first 2 sets. Now just had to settle down a little bit, pacing back and forth, but cool, calm, and collected for the head coach. Looks like the Badgers firmly on their way to their 10th win of the season.
Now Wisconsin allowed to make their substitution. Guchtikin comes back on, replacing Thomas Aylara. And now, after a substitution infraction, Wisconsin will start set 3 with a 1-0 lead. That was why we were waiting so long. But here's Gulje Guchtikin to semi-start set 3. Chin sends it over. It was called a delay of game. Here's Franklin taking a swing, and it's 2-0 Wisconsin.
And the height of this front court is something that Shane Davis told us they were worried about. You have Sarah Franklin, 6'4", Carter Booth, 6'7", and Anna Smrek, of course, 6'9".
Here's Rousseau. Quick ball to Hill. And Booth gets a kill. We mentioned that conversation in that line that Shane Davis gave us. He said it's pretty hard when you're facing players like LeBron James out there, and when you have heights like those, it's a pretty easy comparison. Guchtikin again. Right to Rousseau. Randorf. Nice pop-up from Ashburn, but it sends it over. And Hill knows what to do with it. 3-1 Wisconsin in front. Stinson tonight, 11 digs. Good recovery from Wisconsin to keep it up. Now Northwestern gets a chance to respond, but Randorf got too far in front of it.
Just out of sorts is Alexa Rousseau. Not a great set. Normally that's her bread and butter, the back set to hit Maddie Chin, but sorry, Catherine Randorf, just way too far back. Not on the same page with her teammate.
Service error from Orgel. It's Northwestern the serve back. Another one of the first years for Northwestern. Here's Gigi Navarrete. Playing in her home state for her college career. Crawford with the kill. Kill number 3 for the senior.
Such a great dig from Yulia Orgel. Started the first 3 matches of the season. That outside hitter, but has transitioned her way. Now starting 7 in a row at libero. Such versatility for the Polish native. That time really getting down for her 11th dig of the night.
MJ Hamill now with her team up 3. Stinson to Dodson. Free ball from Navarrete. Hamill back sets for Franklin. Not enough there. Miscommunication results in an attacking error. Northwestern pulls within 2. Maddie Chin off. Avery Hernandez on to serve. The sophomore out of Bloomington, Illinois. Goes cross court. Here's Franklin. Nice recovery from Stinson. Dodson returns the favor, but popped up by Hamill. Franklin again, battle at the net, both teams scrambling. San Giacomo swings, point Northwestern.
Julia San Giacomo just tooling the block of Anna Smrek and Cece Crawford.
The block was just late to arrive there, Matthew. So 5-4, Wisconsin still in front. Hernandez serves again. Smrek quickly.
And
6-4.
We've seen that a couple of times tonight where Anna Smrek starts off because of rotation on this left side and either comes for a quick ball in the middle or goes behind for a one. And it's the height that just throws you off because she's so quick. We talked about it earlier. So agile for a player of her size.
Franklin, recovery from Stinson, battle at the net. Smrek keeps it alive, and a free ball returned. Navarrete, Rousseau, dumps. Awareness from Hamill there to keep it up. See what Northwestern dials up this time. It's Dodson. Far side Smrek, near the line, and it goes right over my head. Always keep an eye on the ball, right? 7-4 Wisconsin, looking to end this in straight sets. And Franklin set to serve again. She ranks second on the team in kills, but has a service error. That is number 8 for Wisconsin tonight.
And we know this Wisconsin team is so cerebral. When we talked to Associate Head Coach Gary White, he told us that continued growth is their mentality. So something that they can take away from this performance, as you just mentioned, 8 service errors. They have to clean that up.
Off the antenna, another service error. We back-to-back. Teams trade it. So the lead back to 3 for the Badgers. Cece Crawford serves. Looking to keep this team moving. Battle at the net, and the point goes to the Badgers again. One more look at that one, Matthew.
Just see Alexa Rousseau smashes into the net.
Stinson, Rousseau, San Giacomo goes cross court, but Crawford's there. From the back row, Franklin right at Navarrete. A healthy pass and a better block. Smrek and Booth team up and extend the Wisconsin lead to 5, causing Shane Davis to call his first timeout of this set. We will take it with him. One more look at that one. Here against Nebraska by about 800 fans, and you see some of the men's basketball stars don't want to miss a thing in this one. What a crowd tonight, Matthew. And Wisconsin shuts that crowd down with an ace.
And when the top teams come to Evanston, these fans have showed that they care about volleyball. They care about this team. Last year was number 4 Nebraska. This year, best team in the country. Number 1 Wisconsin.
Hernandez receives that serve. San Giacomo trying to go over the block there. Stinson pops it up for Rousseau to San Giacomo. That'll go as a kill. 11-6 the score, 4-0 run halted.
You see Julia San Giacomo just touching that ball into the block, tooling it off Anna Smrek.
Service error from Rousseau. The 4th for Northwestern. Wisconsin with 8. Wisconsin doubling up Northwestern here in the 3rd. Looking to sweep their way back home for a date with Indiana. Ashburn to Hernandez. Overpass on the set, and Wisconsin makes them pay.
And Izzy Ashburn just has such control over her serve. When Coach Sheffield saw it for the first time while she was a high school product at Champlain Park, he called it nasty, gnarly. Says that hasn't lost. She's actually improved it. Now holds the all-time record for aces for Wisconsin at 168, has one tonight.
Rousseau has to recover, turning into a bump set. Booth changes the pace as well. Hernandez from the back row, right at Ashburn. Franklin calls it off. Sends it over, though. But Booth is there to deny the effort from Hill.
And you just can't teach size. Carter Booth has been on fire tonight alongside Anna Smrek, just creating so many problems at the net for the Wildcats.
Shane Davis has used all 6 of his timeouts so far. Kelly Sheffield yet to use one. There's just the size of Booth once again. Wisconsin by 8. Looking to close it out here on Big Ten Plus. Wisconsin's offense has been unstoppable this season, hitting over 306 of their last 9 contests. And tonight is no different, Matthew.
And what a rebound it's been. From the team that hit triple goose eggs, a nice 0 against Florida in that first set, to bring it back to 199 for that match, hitting 346 tonight. I mean, so many options, so many good things for Kelly Sheffield going forward.
Rousseau dumps and finally earns the kill, trying to change the pace all night. That is Rousseau's second kill of the evening. When we were talking about those hitting clips, you compare it to what Northwestern has, and before that kill from Rousseau, they were at an 049.
Yeah, 049, which is their worst of the season. They hit 099 when they were swept by Oregon.
That number now up to 061, but still nothing to smile at. Thomas Ilara got the touch and gets kill number 4.
And it's just a different role that Temi Thomas Ilara has played for this Wisconsin team. She's not the focal point like she was in Northwestern, where she would see almost every ball, averaging over 4 kills a set in her career to lead the program. There's 4 other players on this Wisconsin team that have more kills than her tonight. It's taken some adapting, but she's really settled in.
Coach Stecken serves it to Northwestern, and Carter Booth has just been owning the skies. Traffic control up there.
Carter Booth hitting 439 on the season, coming into tonight, 5th in the Big Ten. Just can do anything, really. She can get up to block, she can get up to kill.
There's a swing from Hill through the block, but kept up by the Badgers. Robinson off the touch, extends the Badger lead to 10 points. Every time Northwestern gets something together, Wisconsin shuts it right back down and reminds everybody that that number 1 next to their name is there on purpose. Right to Rousseau, back sets for Randorf into the block, and guess who? Goes out though. So Northwestern escapes that one. 17-8 to score. Stinson on to serve for Dotson. Back on. Excuse me, trying to recover. Far side, Robinson. Stinson can't get it towards her teammates. Double digits once again, the deficit.
And for Wisconsin fans in attendance and watching on Big Ten Plus to see this performance from their libero, Yulia Orzal. So good, so sturdy. This has to be their starting lineup, you have to imagine, going forward for the rest of the season.
Chin sends it deep through the block. And a block from Northwestern returning the favor. Dodson and Randorf get up there. Get the crowd some extra life.
And Northwestern struggled a bit on that front tonight. Just their 4th block, but a big one from Dodson and Randorf.
Randorf, who teamed up on that block. Dodson got the piece of it, and Randorf clips the tape, but Franklin recovers after it goes off her shoulder and gets her 8th kill.
And Sarah Franklin just shaking her head, doesn't know how it happened, but ball just comes off her chest. She stands right back up. Sends it right back over the net. The other player on this team, alongside Robinson, to earn All-American honors last year.
They take the time to wipe down the floor. Northwestern makes a couple substitutions. Gigi Navarrete back on, replacing Randorf. MJ Hamill getting ready to serve, just needing 6 points to close this in straight sets. Wisconsin comes into this one on a 3-set winning streak, but their 9th service error of the match gives Northwestern a side out. We keep talking about that Florida game, how it was a scare for the Badgers. But this is their perfect tune-up right now for the gauntlet that is the Big Ten. Hernandez off the serve. Here's Franklin. Gets another kill. Sarah Franklin up to 9.
And I don't want to take any credit away from the performance that these Badgers put on in those last 3 sets against Florida. But you have to imagine that injury to Alexis Stuckey, All-American, confirmed today, is a dual ACL, MCL tear. She'll be out for the season. Such a big part of that Florida team. But Wisconsin took advantage. They did what needed to be done. But tonight, really bouncing back with a really complete performance.
Our thoughts are definitely with Stuckey tonight as an ace delivered by Wisconsin. Only needing 4 more, and Northwestern students may sense what's coming.
Just a handful of students, more than a handful, starting to walk out.
Still a record crowd there. There's plenty of people in the stands getting to see Northwestern serve. Still trailing by 10, but it's been not there for Northwestern's offense tonight. Their leading killers, Chin, Dodson, and Randorf, at 4 apiece. Devin Robinson has 11. And errors continue to move forward.
It's just every Wildcat really looks a bit discombobulated, whether they're serving, attacking, receiving a serve, or even setting. Just has not clicked here tonight. Now you're starting to see Wisconsin unload the bench a bit, get some players some time. You see Sage Damrow, her first attempt of the night.
And Sydney Reed joins her in the back row. Damrow gives it to Navarrete. An overpass. Booth was there, but Rousseau earns a block. Thomas Ilara with another dig from Stinson. Hernandez in the back row. Another block from Booth. Kill from Rousseau ends the rally.
And MJ Hamill normally averaging about 2.5 digs a set. Just 3 tonight. Defensive performance, not as great as her assisting wise, but this one is hit with a lot of pace. Not a ton she can do there on her heels. Good point for Avery Hernandez.
Rousseau subbed off. Lauren Carter comes on to serve and to set. We get started with an error. Wisconsin 2 points away. Devin Robinson, leading killer with 11, as Kelly Sheffield takes his first time out of the entire match. This team leading 23-12 is an extra breather for some of his squad. Maybe a couple extra players that we'll see on the floor for the final couple points. We'll step aside. The close of this one, we were
so far this season, and then that ranked matchup with Ohio State. And for the Wildcats, you see another tough one. Back-to-back top 15 opponents, Penn State, and then Purdue next weekend. Tough road ahead for Northwestern. But that's what you get when you're in the best conference in the country in this sport.
Northwestern grad transfer Maddie Chin set to take on her former school. Izzy Ashburn on to serve. Lauren Carter jump sets for San Giacomo. And a kill. 23-13 here in the third set. Wisconsin won the first 25-18, and the second 25-12. The Cats are going to go out on a high note. Here's Wright. Booth swings, just long. Carter Booth, 7 kills tonight, 6 blocks. The error goes against her tonight. That's her first error of the evening.
And another player that was such a big pickup for Coach Sheffield. Was a regional freshman of the year last season.
Temi Thomas-Ailara at match point gets the ace and the win for the Badgers. The exclamation point on the homecoming for TTA puts an end to it, and Wisconsin wins it in 3 straight sets.
And TTA may not have been the biggest star in red tonight, but she gets it done nonetheless. The Wildcats had no answer. The best performance from a statistical standpoint for the Badgers, for Northwestern. A lot of stuff to work on going forward.
Wisconsin improving this year.
तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोए बेजान गिरान तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोए बेजान
गंगाजल रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो महादेवगंज साहेबगंज।
के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़बै के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़ब के रानी सोनी लागे आंसुआ गिरैले देहिया काप के लगे जा के रानी हमर अखिया से